Earlier this year, Sara Berki released the EP In the Neon and had her first headline tour of Australia. She's performed at festivals and received two Golden Guitar nominations, one for Female Artist of the Year and another for New Talent of the Year. She also has a wonderful new EP, Outrun, and I'm very much looking forward to asking her about it. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sophie. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, and congratulations on your nominations. Not a it's they're not a surprise to me, but at the same time, they're wonderful. It's a thing of going, well, yes, it's how things should be. But I also was considering that they exemplify where you are in country music because you're still new enough to be nominated for new talent, but you've also accomplished so much that
Mm.
you're up for Female Artist of the Year. So I was wondering whether you still feel new.
Oh my gosh, yeah, of course. In the scheme of things, I am still a new artist. I've only been doing this for the past 4 years. So I think to be a new talent, I I'm so thankful to be a new talent because it's a hard pool to be in. There's so many artists that are doing really good things at the moment, which it made it a little bit it wasn't so clear if I were to be in that category, but
Mhm.
I'm very, very thankful to be. But I was just completely dumbfounded by the the female artist. I was, yeah, I'm still lost for words because these incredible women, they've been doing this for quite some time, to be honest. It's almost like a bit of, I guess, the imposter, what the heck am I doing here? Because I've only been doing this for 4 years, not 15 but yeah, just very thankful.
Because I think it's also what happens when you have actually been working at it, but it wasn't
Mm.
visible. So when I interviewed you around the time of your first single, "Fallen Off the Heartline," you had already been writing for a while.
Yes.
You had a sense of yourself as an artist. So it's that interesting juxtaposition between what we see and
Yeah.
what's actually been going on. So I'm wondering if you occasionally look back just over the past 4 years since you've emerged, shall we say, and think about just how much you've achieved because you didn't get that nomination for no reason. You have actually done a lot in that time.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I do. I definitely have found a way to, I guess, be so excited for myself and my achievements. I found it really hard at first. I think it was also, you know, I hadn't, yes, I had been writing for a long, long time. I'd been writing music for so long, but it was just in the vault. I didn't ever let anyone see it. I didn't let anyone hear it. And I was just, day to day being a hairdresser as I was. So, you know, I think it's the kind of thing, if you don't tell yourself that you're capable,
Mhm.
you're never going to believe it. No matter how many times someone can tell you.
Mhm.
Someone can tell you that you are the best thing ever in the whole entire world, but it's until you actually tell yourself, no, you are worthy of this. You are doing some amazing things. There's not one person, not one artist that is doing exactly the same thing as you. So give yourself credit and do it with grace. I feel like it has taught me over the past 4 years that no, it's okay to, be super excited for your achievements, along with being so excited for everyone else in the music industry because we're all just so close.
Yeah, and I also
Yeah.
think competition's healthy,
Yeah.
and it helps keep everyone sharp. And what you've just said is not dissimilar to things I say because in my day job life, working book publishing, I'm often asked to give advice to writers, and the two things I usually say are get over yourself and get out of your own way.
Amen. I love that. Yeah. Once you do that, you can do anything.
Yeah, because to get over yourself is sometimes, yeah, it can feel more comforting to actually say, oh no, I can't do this. And
Yeah.
it does take a lot of bravery to change your
Hmm.
life, which is what you've done. You put out one song and that changed everything. As you said, when you performed that song in your sets, Fallen Off the Heartline
It's that
changed
one
everything.
song that still is that song. So yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a fantastic song. But this year you have, yeah, with the second EP coming out, you basically released an album's worth of songs because
Mhm.
you had In the Neon start of the year and now Outrun. And they present quite different aspects of your music. And when I saw you do your headline tour earlier this year, you did flag that was coming because you had an acoustic set and then you had your band set. So, what was your vision for Outrun before you started recording it?
So some of these songs on Outrun I had written in 2021, 2022. Um, So that's a little bit of tea, I feel. They weren't all in the present, time of
Mhm.
writing. Um, and I just think over the past, it has pretty much all been in the past 4 years of being an artist. And I feel like just the level of maturity of my writing and my creating, I really wanted to do something that was just so out of the park for me within the neon. And I feel like that is its own body of work. It doesn't sound anything like anything that I have ever done. But Outrun definitely reads to me more than probably anything that I've ever done in my 4 years of my career.
Right.
And I do love that I kind of dipped into what I had written, what I had gone through in that, 4 years of being an artist and growing,
Mhm.
and utilized it and kind of applied it to what my life, what I'm going through at the moment in this present moment. Like it actually, all of this makes sense to me so much. And I think that showing my ability to write, I guess, upbeat, vibe, fruitful kind of writing,
Mhm.
like in the neon, is a tool that I have, but I also can write songs that are moody and raw and depthful and make people move. And I think that I just wanted to show my diversity with both. So it was a perfect it was a perfect way to end the year, to conclude the year with this kind of style of EP. But I'm really excited and I can't wait to talk about what the songs are actually about and where I was when I wrote them or what I saw, because we know that I like to write either from scenario or perspective, either fiction or non-fiction. I like to go to places,
Mhm.
whether they are real or whether they're not real. And I feel like, yeah, I was able to do that with Outrun.
Yeah, well, it's very handy that you would like to talk about the individual songs because I do in fact have questions about that. So I'm going to start with the single Porch Light, which actually just first since the first time I heard it, it has not left me. It has this sense of sadness and also acceptance around it, and just these really vivid lines in it. And there's that image of you talking about lighting the Camel cigarette, exhaling, and then the lines, "You know I'd come back. You know I don't smoke. You know to leave on the porch light." And I just thought, and also the way you deliver them. And I think this is part of the reason why those of us who love music love it, right? You get these songs and these scenarios, and you've done it over and over again with your songs. I just want to point out it's not just this one song. But with this one, is this one of the older songs, the 2020, right?
Yeah, it is. It was definitely, I thought that I had gone through this completely. I thought that I was completely done with, this situation, which I think to write a song like Porch Light, I wasn't completely over it. Even though I was quite happy and content, I still had that feeling of, no, I need to write a song about that, what I had to go through. Um, and yeah, I think that it's quite common. It's the comfort. That song is all about comfort. And I think, it's a hard place to be in if you're so angry at yourself for something that you're doing, which you don't want to be doing, but you just can't help it. You just can't help but to go back to it, because it makes you feel something, whether that be, a past relationship or how even just a friend treats you, like could be applied to anything. But yeah, for me, I just thought that I really had dealt with what I went through, but until I wrote a song like that, didn't really I didn't really deal with it until I wrote that song.
It takes a lot of self-awareness to get to that point though,
Mm.
right? Of realizing that it was comfort, even if the comfort was doing bad to you.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like a bit of it's that trauma bond. It's a
Mhm.
trauma bond. It's a horrible, horrible place to be in, but hey, it's very familiar to people.
True. And then I'm going to lead us now into a song that I distinctly remember from you playing it in your acoustic set earlier this year. So that's how much it stood out, which is Happy House. And I remember listening to you because it was just you and a guitar and a very quiet room, but the room was packed. So you had everyone on tenterhooks, and it's quite a story. So
Mm.
I'm interested in that as well, the story behind it.
Yeah, I think again, to write a song like that, I had to go to a certain place. You
Hmm.
can't just write a you can. I guess you could write if you haven't gone through something like that, you could write about what that might be like. Um Obviously not word for word of what it was like for me, but I think that with my writing I always try and keep things true, whether they are, yeah, I guess, like a made up scenario or not. um I just want to keep true either to myself or to my listeners. And with a song like Happy House, it was it's so hard to sing. It's so hard to sing live. It still gets me. So I just want people to, listen with an open heart and listen with either the mindset of you can heal, you
Hmm.
can have this, but you also can heal. And just to connect. I just love that, I it was a really hard thing when I played that song live. It was like I had to address that this song's it might get to someone.
Hmm.
But even to the extent of I'd look into the crowd and I'd see, you know, 30 odd, 40 odd, 50 odd year old men having to walk out because they couldn't be with it. Um, Whether that was something that they were connecting to or it just hit them just in general, it wasn't something that they have gone through or they could just imagine what it would be like. I think it is just one of those songs, and it did heal a part in me, whether it were true or whether it's not true.
Hmm.
I just think that it's such a moving song. It makes me think of uh, how happy life can be,
Hmm.
how life can be, and just super thankful for my husband. I'm so thankful to have a man and to be going through pregnancy and the joy of being a mum, knowing that I've just got this absolute godsend of a man in my life. So, yeah, it's a part of healing, I feel.
Yeah, and it's one thing to have those stories in you. It's quite another, actually. It takes a huge amount of skill. And I don't want to say the word bravery, actually, because I think we can say, oh, artists are so brave talking about certain
Mm.
things. And I feel like it's the same with Porch Light. I think it's actually it's a commitment to telling the story, commitment to wanting to connect with the audience. As you've just said, there were people who maybe were a bit overwhelmed by
Mm.
it. And it's actually being able to stand up to that and face it and be prepared to be the one who's causing that and not
Yep.
walk back from it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like just especially playing it in that kind of setting in that room, with those people, and I just felt like I really had them in the moment. They let me know that it's a safe space,
Hmm.
as do I. When you're trying to sing a song like that, that's one of the hardest things to do. I feel like there's so many artists that I've seen on interviews, and they say that their songs are really hard to sing. Brad Paisley, is it Whiskey Lullaby? Anywho, there's plenty of artists, there's plenty of songs, and it is true. It's like you're in the most vulnerable state. You're in this state of like, what are they going to think?
Hmm.
Are they going to know everything about, what I'm talking about, or are they going to get a different perception? Or, um, am I going to hurt them with something like this? But I think that just making sure that I'm there for them, they're there for me, that's all that I can hope for, especially with a song like Happy House.
Yeah. Well, I think the audience is very much there for you when I heard it. And also, I think that the EP is structured like the last two songs are the story songs, and then the first three are kind of like the origin songs, if that makes
Mm.
sense. So the title song Outrun has a line, "I've lived life kicking at the gate," and I was actually thinking, I wonder what you were like as you were growing up, whether you were actually quite impatient to get out there and pursue your dreams, and
Yeah.
the gate was there for a while,
Yeah, I hated being told what to do.
right?
I,
Fair enough.
I hate, I can admit it. I I was just fueled with so many emotions that I just didn't know how to control. I didn't know how to contain them, which, I mean, when you are that way, no one can tell you what to do. No one, you're not going to listen to really
Kicking at the
anyone.
gate, yeah.
And you know, I think like a song like Outrun, I mean, that song is like from start to finish, without saying it word for word, that's about my life.
Right.
That's about me.
Yeah.
And you know, from start to finish, it's this journey of when I was little, like it's kind of saying from the get-go, I've always been like this. There's not one part of me that when I listen to that song, there's not one part of me that goes, ah, Sarah, that's not really true, you
Mhm.
know? And I just think it's just such a powerful song. And man, that hurt to write. Like, really, I had to go through so much. I endured so much to write a song like Outrun. And there's so many parts to it. There's so many little lines and references that people have to ask questions. They're like, what does that mean? You know, and I love that about writing. I love that it makes people tick, it makes them think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and I enjoyed about your writing, I have to say. Now we are running out of time, so I'm going to fold the last two tracks together because, as I said, they're this like the story tracks. So
Yes.
Heaven and Hell, which you wrote on your own, and along with the other three songs we just mentioned, and then Lily of the Valley was written with Brand Hood and Billy Montana. So these stories that you're writing, are they like? Do you have a collection of ideas that you come back to when you're writing songs that you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm kind of curious about this Lily of the Valley character?
Yeah, I feel like the song Lily of the Valley, we were all on the same page. Like writing with people who are so well known in Nashville, I was just so excited for this, right? I mean, Billy Montana, he's had so many number ones. He's had so many hits. Brandon Hood, he's an incredible, incredible producer. I think like the time that I've been wanting to record my music, he's been on a list of producers that I really wanted to work with. And then I got in the room with him without even there, just it was the most perfect timing. Lily of the Valley, we were just, yeah, all on the same idea. I think previously with that song, it was actually, I was traveling through the Smoky Mountains, and a native flower to the Smoky Mountains is a lily of the valley. So it just has this like Appalachian spook kind of story to it. And the storyline is just, it just grabs you and makes you be there, you know, and I think that I love that about that song. It's so descriptive and it's just so wild. I can't wait for people to hear it. But yeah, I think with Heaven and Hell as well, it has this wild, woolly storyline that just takes you. And again, it just makes you be there and think about like what that might be like as if you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both quite cinematic. And I'm also wondering whether you recorded all of these songs together and when that was.
Yeah. We recorded it all in a day.
Real? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just realized people are listening and not necessarily watching me because my jaw just dropped open. Um, that must have been quite a day for you.
Yeah, it was huge. I just think that sometimes when you're on it, you just need to run with it. Um, look, I will actually no, Outrun was recorded previously, but the other four tracks they
Mhm.
were done in a day. Yep. And the music was also pretty much done in a day as well. And I was so thankful to have my some of my band members. I think that that's a huge upper hand because it's like, well, these guys know me best. They
Mhm.
understand the stories. They can connect with it and play it like how they would see it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just so thankful to have them play on these songs. And Liam Quinn, like he's done an amazing job with it as well. So
Mm.
I'm really excited for people to hear Outrun.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal collection, and even though it's 5 songs, but it feels like an album. That makes
Oh,
sense.
that's good. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it kind I think that's the journey. That's what I feel.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on you recording everything in a day. Because I'm just trying to comprehend how for you, not just emotionally, but also because there are different vocal moods on this. I think Lily of the Valley stands out as
Mm.
a different treatment to the other songs, for example. So I'm just in terms of you getting into character, as you would have had to do for
Yes.
two of the songs. Is there a process you have where it's almost like a conscious gear change?
Yeah. I think that again, yeah, like you just need to connect with it as if you're singing just that one song, but you also need to think, well, this is a body of work, so it's all very much needs to be in the same world. That's
Mhm.
for me anyway. I don't know about any other artists how they like to work, but I just feel like if I were to have gone home after, the second or third song, I probably wouldn't have sung it the way that I did.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I listen to it and I go, well, no one would know that it's all done in a day, but to me, it sounds very cohesive and it
Mhm.
all just sounds, and I think that's maybe why it feels like a longer a longer piece of work than just the 5-track EP. It has this kind of carries you through it. So yeah.
Did it feel like a letting go when you'd finished that day that you could go home and just be like, okay, I'm releasing all of that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just for any artist releasing 2 EPs in a year
Yeah,
is a lot, but it didn't make sense to have those kind of styles of songs come out with the style of In the Neon. And I will be honest, that was potentially going to happen.
right.
And I think that when releasing, I just wanted to be so certain about what my listeners were feeling. I
Mhm.
just felt like it wouldn't have read to them as well if I were to bring the tracks out with what was coming out with In the Neon. It just didn't make sense to me because In the Neon is its own monster, like an Outrun is about it's a just totally different style. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was huge. I'm still feeling like a little bit whoo, but we're not finished. It
No,
in
no.
studio
It,
it's coming out, and there's a whole lot of work that goes with it. And I think, yeah, just emotionally, the EP that it is, just the songs that they are, wow, what a roller coaster it's been to release songs like that.
yeah, and then the audience starts to have their own relationship with them.
Yeah.
Now, at the time that you are releasing this, you are also heading towards a very important appointment, which, and you mentioned that you are pregnant, you're going to have your first child in early
Yes.
2026. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually so good. I think I counted the other day, it was 13 shows in 8 weeks.
Mhm.
So that's a lot for any artist. But being in my third trimester, I will confirm I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I am feeling good though. I'm really glad that I get to do this and I get to move through, I guess, motherhood to show my children, no, you're pretty well capable of anything. This is what mum gets to do. You get to do anything that you'd like to do in life, and I think that that's so important to me. I can feel a real surge of different writing coming,
Right.
which I'm so excited for. I'm so mentally tired. I'm so tired, but I've just got all of this writing that I'm like, I'm up at night. I'm writing down all of these, top liners, and I'm writing down lyrics of like first verses, but not finishing it, and then I'm starting on choruses and all of this, and that's kind of just how I feel like until I actually have time to just kind of stop and write over the Christmas break I will, but yeah, I can actually feel like my writing is coming, and I think that it's going to be interesting where it's going to head, because I am working towards an album. I'd love to do an album. I think we all are ready for that with Sara Berki. So yeah, just hey, there's so much going on.
There is. Sounds like the channel is open. And I will remind you that you pretty much released an album this year just across two EPs. But so you like the output is there. I am going to leave it there. Sarah, I'm going to be watching for news of Sarah Jr. or
Whatever,
Junior.
yes.
Yeah, and thinking of you and hope it all goes really well. And congratulations on the EP. It's been great to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Sophie.
Yeah.